heard stories about Africa and saw pictures of Africa. I've always wanted to go and experience this firsthand. This is a land of many strange and different animals to us. There's the swift impala, the elusive kudu, the zebra, warthog, and jackal, and so many, many more. This was a trip of a lifetime for me, only I got to do this twice, and the second time with my son along. My name is Tom Ray, and if you would like to go hunting with us, sit back and watch. We'll hunt the black wildebeest on the wide open plain. We'll run for our lives from a warthog, and we'll see the giraffe towering above the tallest of trees. We'll see herds of springbuck thundering across the wide open plain. We'll see fleacebuck and kudu and all the other animals, even including Africa, a wonderful and different land with many different cultures.
About midnight, we climb aboard a jet airplane bound for Africa for the long-awaited hunt which we have been planning for months. We lift off Portland International Airport, circle briefly over the Columbia River. The next thing we know, we're landing at Dallas-Fort Worth.
We quickly get on another airplane and take off. We're climbing up to cruising altitude, and about the time we got to cruising altitude, the smoke detectors in the cabin kept going off, one after another. They just continued doing it. Then the cabin started smelling with smoke, and the captain radioed back to us and said, "We're going to have to return to Dallas-Fort Worth for emergency landing. We seem to have a problem with the cabin filling up with smoke."
Fortunately, our connecting times are pretty good. Oh, that's good.
Doesn't it seem to you like the lights are blinking a bit, huh? There's the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Morning's first light, and we're making our emergency landing.
When we first were able to see through the fog at Dallas-Fort Worth area, we could see fire trucks lined up on all the side runways. When we left this airport, it was crowded with airplanes everywhere. When we come back, everything is cleared completely out. Not an airplane in sight. The only thing we can see are fire trucks everywhere with their red lights flashing on the tops. I didn't realize there are that many fire trucks in the area, and I don't know how they got there so fast. It was just immediate response. It made us feel real good to see that they were taking such good care of us.
Well, they were waiting at that runway.
Oh, they're waiting, huh?
I didn't realize that an airplane of this size could stop so quick. They just stopped right after we got on the ground, and within seconds there were some firefighters aboard, with all their gear, checking things out. Everything checked out okay. The problem had been solved apparently. It was some hydraulic oil leaking on the engine and being circulated through the air conditioning unit.
The fire trucks, it looks like the whole crew is here. Just, I see a big fire truck and all sorts of little vehicles here. I don't see any ambulances or anything.
We will taxi to the terminal and get off the airplane just as usual. There were several people feeling sick from breathing this smoke from the hydraulic oil. I guess it's supposed to be poisonous, but I saw no effect from it. But they checked us out as we got out of the airplane at the terminal, and then we had to try to find another plane to get back in the sky again to head to Africa.
They checked here to see if it was on fire, and apparently there's no visible fire outside. I really think that the fire probably just whatever it was, something was just overheated, and it's probably okay now. Although we might have lost an instrument or whatever. Looks like we got the whole airport on alert. Oh yeah, the fire trucks.
Have we got a parade behind us?
Yeah, we've got a parade of fire trucks. Yeah. Got the lights on and all those. Oh, here comes another big one. Oh yeah. Dallas Fort Worth fire engine, isn't it? I know there's a few big trucks and all kinds of small ones. Well, it looks like here comes some more. Well, it makes you feel good, at least they're taking all the precautions. Now we're supposed to get off the darn airplane.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your personal belongings with you as well. For those of you who have any questions on that, please gather all your belongings in the plane. Thank you.
No, I don't think we get to go down the side. Darn it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know that there are some passengers who are saying that they're dizzy and aren't feeling well. If you'll please identify yourself as you're stepping off the aircraft.
How you doing? Good. Sky is still quite foggy. The fog is boiling over the curvature of the wings. We're almost totally lost in fog now.
At least in Texas, they neatly roll their clouds here, it looks like. By transferring to another airplane,
Looks as though we're just entering the portion of
able to continue on across New Orleans. We could see the Gulf of Mexico and the Florida Everglades. We land in Miami. In a short time, we transferred to an airplane which would dwarf any of the others we'd been on. I think it was a 747B. We lift off, leaving the city of Miami behind us.
We will follow down the coast, going over Miami and the Florida Keys as we head towards South America. The reason they follow the coast is in case there's an emergency, they could at least
Florida Keys, then a number of islands, Cuba, then South America. From South America, the captain charts a course due east. By morning's first light, you could look out the window and see the continent of Africa appear. There were cliffs near the Cape of Good Hope, which was clearly visible. The town of Cape Town, tucked in between the hills, a very picturesque sight. Below us is an island with what looked to be either vineyards or citrus groves on it. A bunch of buildings there. We learned these buildings were prisons. This is the prison.
The once president of South Africa
spent 28 years as a political prisoner. From Cape Town, we head to Johannesburg. We land at Johannesburg, and in a short period of time, after getting a permit to carry our rifles, we are on our way to Kimberley in a smaller propeller-driven airplane. Night has already fallen, and as we head toward Kimberley, Mother Nature puts on a spectacular show of lights across the nighttime sky as giant propellers slice through the air and guide us around the electrical storm on our way to Kimberley, where we'll be picked up and go on to the hunting cabin.
For the next 10 days, we'll call this very nice little picturesque cabin with a thatched roof home while our hunt goes on. It has electricity, plumbing, and a kitchen where many good things to eat are cooked, and it has 3 bedrooms. What a nice little cabin with a thatched roof. And while we were here, it rained, and this roof didn't leak one drop, and you couldn't even hear the raindrops hit it. What a great idea to have a nice thatched roof. An interior of it is decorated like you'd expect an African hunting cabin to be. It has the bleesbuck, the springbuck, and the black wildebeest right above us, and then the giant eland and the gamesbuck, and it looks like a steenbuck. Everything is very well serviced and neat in here and clean, and the thatch roof serves as the ceiling for the interior. Even a little lizard or two runs around on the thatch roof picking up insects. And the building is built of poles that grow native here, camel thorn mostly, I believe. It's now time to do what we came here for. We're going hunting. We all pile in the back of the little old Toyota pickup and make ourselves ready. There's even a bench in the back for us to set on. So Dwayne, Doug, and myself will set in the back while one of the little trackers will drive. We drive along looking for animals, and we don't have to drive far or look very hard, and we start seeing them. There goes some kudu bounding off through the camel thorn trees. Then we notice some bleesbuck standing over in the edge of the camel thorn trees. We'll go on till we see some that are in range and something that we'll want to shoot at. There are so many animals here. If you see one and he gets away, you just don't worry, because there'll be another one real soon. Dwayne is anxious to get his rifle out and take a shot, and his first shot will be at a hartebeest. This will be Dwayne's first shot ever at an African animal, so he takes long and careful aim so he'll make sure to hit it. He takes a rest on the little padded thing that's made for the rest and aims at him. He's going to make sure he gets it the first shot. It's a whole different game here in Africa. Us that are good shots in North America aren't necessarily good shots in Africa right away.
An old sow warthog scrambles to avoid us. And when she really decides to get away from it, that tail goes straight skyward, and she's really picking them up and putting them down as she disappears into the camel thorn trees. Some hartebeest stomp and swat flies with their tail on the tall grass, coarse grass plains near a camel thorn. It looks as though there is a trophy bull in the herd that would look very nice on Dwayne's wall. That is, providing he can hit it.
Very carefully, he aims again and fires a shot.
Dwayne took long and careful aim and missed. The hartebeest is only one of 92 different varieties of antelope worldwide, and there are 76 of these antelope which call Africa home. Another shot pierces the quiet of the morning air as the hartebeest leisurely trot away. Dwayne, you better settle down. You want to get one of these antelope real bad, and so you better make certain you hit this next shot. They gallop across an open area and decide to stand and look at the other end of the opening. Dwayne's settling down now. Take a few breaths of air and make sure you don't pull that rifle, and do a real careful job of aiming this time. The animal's standing perfect.
Well, that got him.
Dwayne has his hartebeest.
Yeah, very nice bull. Yeah, awful nice bull.
Overlooking the spot where the hartebeest dropped is a camel thorn tree with some social weaver nests in it. These birds nest in colonies, and sometimes they'll make their nest so big that the weight of it will bring the camel thorn tree to the ground. Now it's time for us to load the hartebeest in the trailer, in the pickup, and take it to the skinning shed and get it.
A games buck takes to hoof in front of us. A baby springbuck hurries to make good his getaway.
I'm not really certain how old this little baby springbuck is, but he's apparently not very old, and due to the fact they don't have much of a winter there and there's not much change in season, they can be born about any time of the year. And this little guy surely isn't very old, and he looks real cute. The games buck are one of the animals Dwayne will be hunting for, so we'll take some time and look this little group over and see if we can pick out a trophy in there for Dwayne to shoot. They mill around a little bit and look around. They don't seem very spooked at all. And so he's going to try to find a good one. Doug will tell him which one to shoot at, and the shot will ring out here real soon. They get a little restless and start to trot away, but Dwayne is ready for him. Now that Dwayne has his games buck, Doug will bring the pickup up and we'll clean it out and load it in the back of the pickup to take it back to the skinning shed to skin it. We take really good care of all the meat, and nothing goes to waste, absolutely nothing. Even the internals, the bushmen use them for their own use. Now everyone will pile out, and it'll be a team effort to get this thing cleaned out. First we'll take pictures, and then we'll clean it out. And the bushmen will take the stomach even, the lungs, the heart and liver, and other things to use for their own food. We'll get this trophy dressed out and loaded in the back of the pickup. And what a trophy it is. This meat will all be taken care of very nicely. Not one morsel of meat of anything goes to waste here. There's plenty of people here that are hungry, and so that meat will be put to good use. And that games buck meat is a very good one. So we'll get off and get this thing dressed out and loaded in the back of the pickup and take it back to the skinning shed to take care of it. This is a very large animal, and it'll take the combined efforts of all of us to load it in the back of the pickup, and we'll load it again on the bags of leaves, which are there to keep it from rubbing some of the hair off as the pickup jiggles down the road.
Okay, what kind of shoot was that, Charlie?
Oh, this one's very nice shoot.
Very nice one.
Yes, one shot flat.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, I find out about no. Okay.
Yeah, on the block.
What do you think of the shooting, Mom?
That's a good shot.
That was good? Yeah, he did okay, huh?
Yeah, that's not.
As good as Margie?
Yeah.
What do you think I should do to Margie when she's naughty, Charlie?
What's that?
What do you think I should do to Margie when she is naughty?
I don't know.
No, I don't have any suggestions. How about you, Noel? What do you think I should do to Margie when she's naughty? What would you do?
Yeah, he's his way.
Does she hit back?
No?
Well, yes. Wayne and Bob will go in one direction, and Sammy and myself will be going the other direction.
The vehicles are warmed up, and we're all loaded and ready to go. Noel will be going with Doug and Dwayne, and Charlie will be going with Sandy and myself as trackers. It's another beautiful morning, and we're all excited about the upcoming hunt as we leave the driveway and head out to the hunting grounds. Some leery kudu lurk in the edge of the trees. There's a trophy bull here, but he's holding back in the trees, and we
And Steinbeck.
Wow.
We've got a black stripe here. The ears are differently shaped.
Wow.
Okay, they're sharper pointed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The legs are black. Very sharp heels. Excuse me, look at the length of the mouth here. Can you see this?
Wow.
Tremendous length. Hold there, Charles.
Wow.
And then you've got a funny set of teeth. The teeth are slightly different at the back here.
Wow.
And here, if you look here, the teeth here,
Yeah.
it's got a sort of hook at there. Now these guys will eat eggs, ground birds, if they can, you know, little ground
Well,
birds.
so right.
Yeah.
Would be darn. Wow.
Right.
What an interesting animal. That is really great.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that a really old one? It looked like somebody's front teeth missing.
Tom? No, he's alright. He's in his prime, I'd say. He's
Oh.
in his prime.
Yeah.
Charlie, bring us a can.
There we got Tom with a dark and round.
And as explained, it's one of our smaller critters. And he made a good shot. And shot it with his 375. No problems. Tom, you want to turn that head a little, that's it. We've got needle sharp, fairly short these horns, about 4.5 inches. Turn it towards me, Tom. Let's go.
Next to this front block is an African tortoise. Quite a large one. Very, very large. He's hurrying across here. Yeah, he's a very large tortoise. Looks like he's older than he feels.
This giant old tortoise probably has his own story to tell about history. He's probably been around for a long time. When you come across a tortoise like this, they should never be picked up. This could be fatal to some helmeted guineas take time off from their pecking and scratching to effect a getaway from us. They are a common barnyard animal in our country, but in Africa they are a much sought after wild game bird. You can tell the males from the females because the male has a hump on his back. They are a very, very nice bird and very tasty to eat. but we won't take time to be hunting any of them on this trip, although we saw a number of bunches of the guineas. They'll take to flight as well and fly a considerable distance. An old sow warthog checks us out as she keeps an eye on her single piglet. The warthogs aren't a very good breeder. They only seem to have very few young, but the young they have are very spirited and quite funny to watch. She continues swatting flies with her tail, flopping her ears, and keeping an eye on us. She's just trying to decide just how close we can get. She has a very nice beard and some nice tusks. The little piglet will be getting his tusks sooner or later. This tail is quite handy. It works real well for swatting flies, and there is nothing better for flagging than to stick that tail straight in the air and make your way back into the camel thorns and disappear if you're a warthog. Doug and myself will take to foot and see if we can sneak up on a hartebeest bull that we've just spotted there. Some of the time we hunt from the truck, and other times we'll hunt on.
The bull has snuck off ahead of us, but we finally catch up with him, and I've got my hartebeest bull now. So we'll take some measurements, take some pictures, clean him out, and load him up again and haul him to the skinning shed to skin.
I guess, huh, Charlie? Yeah. And this is the decoy you'll be using, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the black wildebeest decoy. Oh, do you make any noise to call them, or you just set that up and they just see it and come, huh? Yeah, do they come to fight it or something like that?
It's come very true.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Is Sandy here this morning?
He's at the office.
Oh, he's at the office.
We are gonna meet him.
Oh, we'll meet him over there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
A vast short grass plain is where we'll sort through wildebeest bull after wildebeest bull. These are the rare black wildebeest, which we're now able to hunt. There is only a small bit of grass out here and many termite mounds. A few bleeze bucks seem to be hurrying back and forth by the wildebeest, but we're looking for that special trophy bull, and so we'll just keep looking and looking until finally we'll find that special bull.
He's down. He's all the way down.
Here's Dwayne's black wildebeest. Dwayne and Doug hurry to take a look at the bull, and what a treat. This is the first time Dwayne and I have ever seen a wildebeest bull, let alone be able to hunt. Dwayne is beaming with pride as Sandy, Doug, and Pete congratulate him.
Pulling around, they can close their nose. Oh, they close their nose
in the old open flats.
Oh, dusty man.
Dustin, yeah.
Yeah, because they live in these old lake beds and things, huh? Out in the open where there's a lot of dust. Oh, yeah.
Johnny, come here, please.
It is now my time to take a wildebeest bull. We'll sort through several more bulls till we find an excellent trophy, and I'm so excited I can hardly wait.
Yeah, I think it's pretty alright.
Look at his bosses. Yeah, And the prices also come to a point. Nice and... Yeah, the... Yeah, it looks nice. Can you just turn the motor off then? What's the one on the left? It looks better done. The one on the left or the three? The one on the right, just look at us. The one on the right is very wide.
Sandy spots an ostrich egg. Pete goes to pick it up. Sometimes a young hen will lay an egg and not take care of it. Then it'll lay there. This one probably some other animals made a meal out of it since it has a hole.
No boss there, Ron. What do you think? No boss there? Yeah. Oh, turtle. Very nice. Not much of a drop though, dude. Okay, want to find another one? Look at this blossom. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, that's a nice building. You go a bit forward? Got him. Good shot.
Finally, the shot rang out and the wildebeest bull dropped. After sorting through all these, I was very anxious for this. The rest of the herd of black wildebeest scurry over the distant rise to make good their getaway after hearing the report of the rifle ring out across this vast plains land of South Africa.
How old do you think this wildebeest is here, Pete?
I would say, take a rough guess, I would say about 7 to 8 years old.
7 to 8 years old. And how many wildebeest do you expect to have on the place here?
Take a rough guess, I would say just under 350 at the moment.
350 of the black wildebeest.
Black wildebeest?
Do you have any of the blue wildebeest here?
No.
Oh.
This is the poorest black wildebeest numbers that are in this area around here. They don't hibernate with any of the others, so they're the purest at the moment we've got.
Oh, well that's good. And this animal, I understand their numbers were quite low a few years back, were they?
That's right. They were very, very low. At one time, in the 60s, we were down to 35 black wildebeest, yeah.
35 in the world, or
no, just in this area.
In this area.
In this area.
And now they're coming back pretty good.
They're coming back slowly.
Yeah. And occasionally you take an old bull for a
That's
trophy.
right, yes. We do do
to buy,
selective culling.
yeah, to pay for the keep of the others.
That's right.
Yeah, and is this the one that was near extinction at one time, many years ago then?
That's right, yes,
yeah.
it was. It was almost on the red data list.
Yeah, and then
So-
by game farms producing them, they've brought them back
Come back again, that's right.
yeah, to where they're something we can hunt and
That's right.
stuff
And
now.
the numbers up again now.
Yeah, well, that's very good.
Production and distribute them to the other game ranches as well now.
Yeah,
Which we do a lot of that.
yeah. So you sell cows and things for other people to breed.
That's
then.
right, yes.
Yeah.
We do live capture.
Yeah. So you're really helping the species then in
Very
that.
much so.
Yeah. And also you have on this farm you have bleesbuck, is that
That's
right?
right, yes.
And what else?
Predominantly springbuck, which we're up to 5,000 young at the moment.
Oh,
And the blessbuck we're on, just on 500 now.
oh, but around 5,000 springbuck.
5,000
Huh?
springbuck.
Wow, that's a lot. What's the story on the little guy up at your house?
He came from another town called Pisca, which is about 200 kilometers from here. They were doing night culling on other properties there, and this little one just happened to be lying in the grass. And, my son picked him up and brought him home.
Oh,
So that's where he
and then did you feed him on a bottle?
fed him on the bottle for almost 3 months, and now he's part of the family.
Yeah, well, that's very, very nice. How about, I see you have a number of birds there as well.
We have that blue crane, which is the national emblem of the national bird of South Africa.
Uh-huh.
And we bought him from Nature Conservation because they confiscated it from some other farmer that had it. Well, they weren't on the farm that was in town, and they confiscated it.
Oh,
Just to get him up to, he was still a youngster then.
wow.
And just get him to grow in size and then be released.
He'll fly away and join the wild again.
We
Yeah.
have a number of blue cranes on this property.
Oh, yeah, and lots of other geese and things you
That's
say
right,
use
they
this.
come and go all the time.
Wow, wow. The blue crane, the people that had him illegally, is that correct?
You have to have a permit to be in possession of wild animals,
Yeah.
wild birds.
Probably they found an egg and hatched it or caught a
They
baby.
caught it from when it was a little chick.
Wow, which they weren't supposed to do.
That's right,
Wow, yeah. Well, thanks so much, Pete. It's been a real pleasure to come out here and a really great hunt.
Well, I'm glad you did come out and you got your animals, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your hunt.
Well, thank you so much. Well, it's really been great. Yeah. Okay. He's very gentle. And then this is this is the national bird of South Africa, huh? Yeah. Yeah. He looks a bit, somewhat like our sandhill crane. Wow, he is a beauty. Isn't he cute? Yeah. Well, that is one cute springbuck. Now, his horns go forward there.
That's a young ram,
The young rams go forward? Ah. Oh, is that right? Is that 1 year old then? 10 months old, uh-huh.
Meanwhile, back near the hunting cabin, Gladys and Dion are returning with their daily wood, which they'll use for cooking.
What will you be doing with the wood, Gladys? Fires? Will you cook on the fire? You cook on the fire? Oh, yeah. Yeah. What is? Does Dion help? Dion help? Yeah. Okay, Dwayne would like to try.
Even though it is very unmanlike in the Bushman culture for a man to ever carry anything on his head or do any woman's work, Dwayne has to give it a try. It's like a man carrying a purse in this country. And it's not as easy as it might look.
Okay, now come this way, Dwayne.
Okay, this way. Well, now, okay. Well, that's good mark. Just mark away. Well, that was very nice. Thank you, Gladys.
A young Boer warthog stands in the tall grass. He's trying to figure out whether he can take us or whether he had better run. He finally makes the proper decision as far as I'm concerned and sticks that tail in the air, and he is off. Well, is he? You better get out of here, pig, or we'll be having roast pig.
But it's a youngish male. Nice Springbok ram, which Tom shot at last night, but I would reckon a little bit over 200 yards. Tom, would you turn the head a wee bit? Oh, that's fine. There we go.
Fine, so. Oh, you think we'll get one? Yeah. Is this rain gonna affect it?
Tom?
Do you think the rain will be okay?
Yes, Tom.
Yeah. You know, over in America, this sporting goods store I went to, they told me that when you see a maybe a taller ram, I think it's a little too far away, just turn this way. Yes, he'll come running. You think that'll do it? Yes, it does. You come? Yes, it does. Good, yeah. Good, it does. I think so. You think we'll be able to hit it? Yes. Yeah. You know, sometimes I guess they stay a little too far away. Yes. Yeah. Over in America, they told me if I got this, you guys just wait that they'll come running in closer. Think that'll work, Charlie? I think so. Yeah.
Morning.
What do you guys doing?
A trophy impala just stands looking at us over in the edge of the camel thorn trees. So I'll take careful aim and shoot. The shot is good, and now I have my impala. So we'll go over and get it loaded up, and then Dwayne has to get his. We heard some shooting back in the brush where he and Doug went, so we'll just wait and see what they got. They should be out pretty soon, and we'll get some word.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Charlie, how come you didn't blow the call? How come you didn't blow the call to get him to come closer?
We forgot to blow the call, Charlie.
Yeah, forgot to blow the call.
Because we have to hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I should blow it now in case he decides to
You
get out.
better not. No. There you go, Tom with an Impala. Another one shot. Another hard shot. The last 3 shots he's fired have all 3 been hard shots. Tom, turn him away from you. And a bit, yeah, that's fine. While we waiting on Dwayne and Doug, we've gone over after a bunch of impala on foot. This one we just couldn't resist it because it stood up in front of the truck and we had no option but to take him. Tom, nice buck and nice shot. Tom, on the back legs you'll see scent glands. We'll have to turn him over for that. They're about 6 inches up. And
he's like our American antelope. He has no claws.
that's right.
Yeah.
You see the scent glands there, yeah? Grassland with a little bit of low shrub.
What kind of shooting was that, Charlie?
This is a nice shot, Mr. Tom.
Yeah. Did you think I was going to miss him?
No, I see he stand right for a shot, Mr. Tom. Yeah.
Shot sound do you know?
He didn't stand.
Did he?
He didn't stand.
Yeah. What do you think, Charlie?
I think it's a got it, Mr. Tom.
Dwayne got him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Yeah.
Dwayne's been back here chasing this bachelor herd impala, and we've heard 2 shots. The first shot we figure missed, and the second shot Charlie said he got him from the sound of it. So they're right here. Apparently they've got him down.
2 fine impala rams shot by father and son on the farm John field. We've scarcely been out in the field for an hour. Both one-shot kills and both very good kills. How do you guys feel about it?
Well, great. Yeah, that was real nice to get them nice and early this morning, you know, and then we can get something else this afternoon.
Okay.